Ben Mendelsohn, who plays Talos, and Samuel L. Jackson have great chemistry, and they really do sell the fact that they've been so close for so long. And I appreciated that. Hey everyone, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMXND Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing episode 1 of Secret Invasion. That's right, this is our first show in phase 5, and honestly I'm happy that we're spacing everything out. There was way too much for us to cover, and it was a lot to handle all of these theories going around with all of phase 4 and the Disney Plus streaming service being new and trying to connect everything. I think they did a good job with what they had, but it's time to switch gears, slow it all down, let people process the shows, let people make their connections. And I think that's exactly what the Secret Invasion placement does here. We had a lot of multiversal storylines, a lot of cosmic storylines, and I think Secret Invasion being the boots on the ground, normalcy, even though it does deal with Skrulls, I think that it's very ground level. It's more of like a thriller, heavy on the espionage, heavy on the betrayal, the deceit. People don't know who their friends are. People don't know who is who at this point, and you have to really pay attention to what they are saying, the dialogue, just to catch if someone is a Skrull or if someone is the actual person that they're talking to. I think that's what makes this pilot episode so engaging to watch. It does move at a very slow pace, but it picks up with the action scenes, which I think they're pretty good. They're edited well, and I think creator Kyle Bradstreet really understands what the comic of Secret Invasion is. I think the opening title sequence, the credits, I thought it was really, really cool. A lot of greens, and it kind of tells you the story of what is about to happen in this mini series here. Obviously, it's based on the comics as well. It is a comic book run, and I think the opening title, credits, the sequence there, it did a great job in foreshadowing what could possibly happen within the 6 episodes. So I was very fortunate enough to be able to watch the first 2 episodes, but today I will be giving you my review for episode 1, which drops next Wednesday on Disney Plus. So shout out to Disney. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I love my Marvel stuff, so this is great. Going into this episode, I had no expectations. I just went into it. I'm like, okay, we're getting this show. And if you guys know me and you've watched my previous Marvel television series coverage, you know for a fact that I am all about the spy thrillers, the character-driven storylines, even if they are cosmic or multiversal. This one feels very close to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. That's right. I said Captain America and the Winter Soldier, but it's very similar to that. It's very similar to Hawkeye. I think it leans more into the espionage like Black Widow did, but we're getting that kind of story here. So it opens with Everett Ross, and he's going to meet this man in a storage unit because he needs information on the Skrulls. He needs information that only Nick Fury can have because Nick Fury is obviously allies with the Skrulls. Now, this entire sequence here, I'm going to kind of do it without spoilers, as I am known for. No spoilers for me. I'm going to let you guys just watch this and enjoy it and understand why I really liked this first opening scene and why the pilot's actually really good for what it is. I like this. I think that without it being exposition dump heavy in what they were looking for, it sets it up really quickly, and you're listening to a voiceover of what the Skrulls do and how they infiltrate groups of people and how they want to make Earth their home. So you get little tidbits of that and what is possibly, obviously, the setup, the start of what the season entails. We have that set up. We have Everett Ross going there. We dabble in what Nick Fury's doing. We see what Maria Hill also makes an appearance here and kind of sets up that they're in Moscow, they're in Russia, and the Skrulls are kind of lashing out. They're not as unified as we would like to think they are. So that opening sequence, like any cold open in any of the Marvel shows, was pretty strong because it hooks you in, especially with how evolved the Skrulls have become. And we get to know more about the Skrulls. We have 3 things at play here. We have Nick Fury with his ally of Talos, and Talos has his daughter, Gia. and his wife as well. We have them as the middle point. They are the middle guys. They're not with the government, but they're also not with the Skrulls and the rebellion that is happening here. So we have Skrulls who are not directly involved with Gravik, who is the leader of this resistance of the rebellion, played by Kingsley Ben-adir, who's pretty good in this from what I've seen. And Gia is obviously played by Emilia Clarke, and now Emilia is floating in between both of them because of obviously her connection to her father and the information that she finds out. So we have three sectors at play here. Obviously, the government steps in with Rhodey. We do get a little scene there with him, and everyone is made aware of the position of Gravik and the position of Nick Fury because he returns. Now, the last time we see Nick Fury is in the post-credits scene from Far From Home, and that is a long time. That's a long time. If you really look at it, we haven't seen him in about, I want to say 3 years? 3-4 years we haven't seen him. So the connection to Fury doesn't feel like it's there anymore, but he was monitoring a sword satellite. He was with Talos at the time, and we didn't know what happened to him during the blip. So we do get an explanation, which is a very vague explanation of what he was doing during the blip and what happened to him, which I kind of think that we're going to get more flashbacks. We're going to uncover more of what happened to him because he's not the same old Nick Fury. Like, you could even tell in his stance. I think his introduction in the actual episode was pretty cool because you just saw his silhouette and you knew it was him, which is great. But you see that he's changed. Even his relationship with Talos, they say, you know, it's been 3 decades. And it really has been 3 decades. Obviously, you don't realize that with Captain Marvel taking place in the 90s, and it doesn't make that connection. But Ben Mendelsohn, who plays Talos, and Samuel L. Jackson have great chemistry, and they really do sell the fact that they've been so close for so long. And I appreciated that. Like, right off the bat, I have no connection to Talos. Captain Marvel, unfortunately, isn't my favorite Marvel film, and I didn't get that when I watched Captain Marvel, but they're making me feel this in Secret Invasion within minutes. So I like that they did that. There's that connection there between the two of them, which is really the driving force of what the show is going to be honest, between the two of them. So that needed to come off right off the bat in order for audiences to understand that they've been friends for so long. It's not like a good cop, bad cop, even though they kind of play like that throughout the episode. But there's this gray area with Nick, the Skrulls, and Talos, because obviously Talos is connected to the Skrulls. But the way that the Skrulls are advancing and moving, it's hard for people to now detect them in who is actually a Skrull and who, obviously the real person that I had mentioned before. So it's getting harder. It's getting more difficult. And Talos is like, these are my people. Even though they are in the rebellion, I cannot bring myself to kill any of them. But obviously Nick Fury has been through enough of these moments where he just takes the shot. And then that's what they battle with. It's a fleeting moment in this first episode, but I feel like this is going to come into play later on, which is a great setup. It doesn't feel like they're setting up everything possible. It's not like such a grand scale that would affect the entirety of the MCU. It feels very contained, which is, again, very important. I don't want to know if this ties into Secret Wars. I don't want to know if it's tied into, I don't want to know that stuff. Tell me the story of this particular season. Tell me the comic book run of Secret Invasion in these tight 6 episodes. That's what I want to know. That's what they're doing. They're not connecting things yet. Okay, just watch the first episode. I'm just saying, like, they're not connecting things yet. The one thing that I will say, when we met Olivia Colman's character, Sonia, kind of came out where she noticed that Nick isn't the same. And for me, when I see a hero that has always been at the top of their game, it's really hard for me to watch a hero not be at the top of their game, because you know that they were always here. They were always 5 steps ahead. And Nick Fury was always 5 steps ahead. He was very perceptive and organized and knew what he had to do before people even knew that they had to do it. That's not what we're getting here with Fury. And I know, like, obviously we're getting another side of him. We're getting a more well-rounded Nick Fury. We're learning more about Nick Fury, and that's great. It's not the Nick Fury that we knew before the blip. That's the focus, that they really drilled into us in this first episode. I'm interested to know where they take that, because now I want to know what happens to him. It's a solid first episode. I think that it tells you everything you need to know about the Skrulls without over-explaining. It didn't feel like a gigantic exposition dump when they were trying to tell you how they advanced, so I thought that was fine. Even the plans, I didn't feel like it was too in-depth. There was a bomb scare in the first episode, and that is what the action scene in the final, I guess, like 10 minutes was about. And they executed that fairly well. I think the action scenes were pretty good here. The fight choreography is very strong. I have to mention that the special effects, the VFX work to transition from Skrull to human to Skrull, seamless. I think they did a great job with that. It's stronger than it was in Captain Marvel, but I really liked this first episode. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. I think it's a solid pilot. I have no interest in the Skrulls, but they're making me interested in the concept and what they're trying to do and how they're taking over humans. But I love Talos. I think Ben Mendelsohn has some endearing qualities. He's very charming, and his connection with Nick Fury is incredible. So that's what I'm really attached to. I want to know more. They did hook me. That's the important part with this pilot. But I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 for a starter, just because I think that what they're trying to do is make audiences care for Skrulls because they are important in the MCU now. I'm excited to watch more. I really am. So if you guys enjoyed the first episode of Secret Invasion, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite MCU series has been up till now. Give me your top 3 if you want. I want to know that in the comments, so drop that below. Let me know what upcoming Phase 5 project you are excited for. I know it's tough to pick one, so just let me know in the comments below. Please make sure to like and subscribe. You can always follow me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And if you guys want to help me grow this wonderful channel with you lovely, lovely people, you can check out ways to do that in the bio below. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.